Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the I.O. Panel. This is episode 232, being recorded on Sunday, July 11th, 2021, in the year of our Lord. My name is Michael. I'll be the host this week. With me is James, and James only. Evan has taken a sabbatical.
He's dead.
What's going on?
Evan's dead. He went off to the home for fake professors in the sky. A.K.A. Texas, or whatever. He'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Where'd he go?
He went deeper.
He, Florida? Oh, okay.
No, Texas, I think. I don't know. Can't wait to hear back from him. I heard he played some games that aren't Quake. Dude, that's what he said. I was like, what? So yeah, I can't wait to hear his
his I played
report
block and I hated it. I hated every minute of it. It was like pure punishment. I'm good, man.
How have you been?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
How have you been, James?
It's been a chill week, you know. Just work and playing video games. The usual, man. I keep it simple, man. You know.
Did you fix all the mechanics issues?
I fixed all the ones I was responsible for, so that's good enough for me for now. Yeah, it's a start.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's something that's good. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Except
well, that problem, I think I realized that the issue is just a driver issue, and it's never going to work. I think if I want to get this Nutanix stuff working in my house, I need to do I'm gonna need to just go buy like a recommended Nutanix thing from somebody, either a used one or buy something. I think it's
just
more
get a
than
different card?
I think it's something else. I think it's something in the firmware.
Well, I was thinking it was well, maybe it's the network card. I don't know, but I was thinking these, for lack of a better word, the SCSI controller.
I don't know. That's possible too. I didn't think about that. Could be that. I mean, the thing, it sees the drives, so
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what it has a problem with. Something breaks it deep into installation. So
there's no log to look at.
It doesn't. Well, if it produces a log, it produces it at a place where I can't get at it. It basically is in mid installation, and then it gets about 95% of the way there. Then it fails and then dumps it back out, and then we try to boot it to get into like whatever it created. It won't boot. So if there's a log there, I don't know how to find it. I guess if I really wanted to, I could go pick the hard drives apart, pick the RAID apart, and then on another computer rebuild the RAID on another computer using some kind of tool I don't know exists, and then go through the log that way. Maybe, I don't know, but obviously, I'm not going to do that, right? I'm not going to rebuild that RAID on this other computer. You know, it's just a lot of hassle. I'll probably try. I'm going to use something. I'll do something else with this machine. I tried installing CentOS on one of them just so I could get a dedicated server for 7 days of die-up, and it failed also. So I didn't look too much into that failure. I just was like, okay, I'll dedicate more time and energy to it when I'm not in a rush. So I haven't gone back to it. Maybe I'll mess with it later on today. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, worst case scenario, we could put VMware on them.
Kill me now.
And
it's the enemy of my enemy.
VMware's
man.
great,
I don't want that. It's horrible.
and yet you
I
support
hate every minute of it.
Nutanix.
It's a clunky, over complex. Dude, you just don't know. Use Nutanix.
And that's what I think of Nutanix. It's clunky, overcomplicated.
That complication.
Dreck.
That complication to the user is transparent. I'll admit, 100%. In the background, Nutanix is so complicated. In the back end, the end that I need to service and look at and help people service and help people understand, Jesus Christ Almighty, it's so complicated. But when it's working and it's up and your network is up to snuff and where it needs to be, and everything's in its place, man, it will work and work and work and work and work, and it'll be simple and easy to use, and you don't need to be a fucking MIT, uh, you know, graduate laureate or whatever to understand how to work with the distributed network, the vSwitch or whatever. You know, the complication is like minimal. You know, I mean, 90% of the problems I have with people in their Nutanix clusters is that they don't actually know how to set up vSwitches and do distributed networking in VMware, and in turn they fuck up their Nutanix network. That's 90% of the problem. Or their network teams don't know how to do physical networking, and they fuck up their network, and it causes problems. You know? So
I see.
Competence is very rare.
Yeah, I had to change some vSwitch stuff around recently with our stuff, but yeah, we got it all sorted out. So all good. And then this weekend, myself, I was actually involved in a little project at work, migrating a bunch of both physical servers and virtual servers from their existing Linux-based platforms over to VMware. Yeah. Had a complete failure on one. We'll have to try that again later, but the rest we were able to get them over.
Cool.
So, worked out. Yes, the VMware's P2V tool. It's okay.
P2V.
It's not as good as the Nutanix one, I'll be honest with you.
That sounds familiar to me. I feel like I've had to. Yeah,
physical to virtual.
I think maybe. Did you talk about that last week? I feel like somebody, or either that or.
We didn't have a show last week.
Well, either you said something to me about it at some point, or my customer said something about it, because they're converting. They're going from they have physical servers to take over to virtual. So yeah.
Oh, okay. I've used the Nutanix one where I think you stand up a little VM in it, and you do the migration using that, and installs an agent.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. That one works really well, and it's nice because you can sync stuff over. Like, you can say, like, all right, get this one ready for migration. And it says, okay, cool. It just kind of does it in the background, copies everything over. And then it keeps syncing it until you say, all right, now we're done. Do the one final sync and then shut off the old one. That's nice. The VMware P2V tool does not do that at all.
Everything Nutanix does is designed around the idea of making it so... It's designed around the concept of invisible infrastructure. And if you think about it that way, you realize invisible infrastructure applied to software means if you use a piece of software, it needs to be as simple and invisible complication-wise as possible, which means you need to be able to get into it and get out of it and get what you want to do done. You shouldn't have to have a fucking degree to use your software. And I like VMware because it does work, but it's so complicated. It's more complication than I want in my home situation, especially when I don't, my primary thing I work with is Nutanix, so like I want my home network to be a showcase of how great Nutanix is, not how limited it is and I have to use VMware, which sucks. I'm going to accept the fact that my issue is related to the fact that I have a Nutanix cluster here that, I have servers here that I did not pre-verify work well with Nutanix. I should have just bit the bullet and spent $3,400 and bought a Nutanix cluster. I used old 3 or 4 2-node one and called it good. So it's my own fault. I would have had the same amount of power for more money, but in a smaller package. But I digress.
Yeah.
So how was your week?
True. Well, it was good. Just getting ready for that move that I talked about that we started doing Friday night, and so did that all Friday. Pretty much spent all Friday doing that, actually, and most of Saturday.
Okay.
So yeah, just keep hammering at it, and so did that. I went to the office a little bit, was updating some servers, that normally you could do it all remotely, but we don't have it set up properly, so I had to be there to do it. But that's okay. Got it done. Was also documenting our existing network connections and stuff because we're gonna have to re-rack everything. So, in preparation for our physical move, so that'll be fun. And that's about it really for my week. Yeah, not a whole lot going on. Rewatched some movies. Rewatched all the Jason Bourne movies.
We? Oh. Oh, rewatched. Yeah, I think we watched. I was like, we did? Yeah, so had you missed any of them, or had you not seen them, or what?
No, just hadn't seen them in a while, especially the first one.
They're great.
I hadn't seen that
They're
one
good movies.
Forever.
I've had the urge to watch.
They are.
Since Black Widow came out, to rewatch a bunch of my favorite Marvel movies. I'm not gonna go watch them all just because a bunch of them are just junk. I'm not interested, but definitely interested in like watching like all the Iron Mans, maybe some of the Thors. Just because like the Iron Mans are so good, man. They're some of the best ones.
Some of the only Marvel movies I've seen.
I'm not excusing you by saying, oh, yeah, you've only seen the good ones. No. You should definitely watch the other ones. They are good. But, or they're not good. They're just what they are. They're what you expect them to be, and they deliver on that front. But that said, the Iron Man ones, to me, they're very nostalgic because that was like the first time we'd seen movies like that done so well and seriously. Like normally superhero movies are very like, they're dreck, they're tongue in cheek, and you could tell no one who's making the movie takes them seriously. Everyone's on a meme break when they made it. There's a paycheck. The only ones that people put any effort into to that point was like Batman and Superman movies, And even the Superman movies, they couldn't do them consistently well. So, it's nice to see.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to see like an ensemble cast where they intended on building a universe, building something interesting, creating a world, exploring deeply into the show, into the series. So, that's why I liked it. I mean, it was like the beginning of that for me. It's kind of cool stuff.
I remember going to see Age of Ultron in the movie theater, and I was like, okay, but
I mean,
what happened
all these movies, all these movies are forgettable. Honestly, none of the movies are like I don't think you're gonna walk away from any of these movies and be like, man, it changed my life. Like I don't think they're meant to do that. It's like Fast and Furious. You walk away from that movie, you walk away from those movies, you're like, some shit exploded. I saw what's it called? Dominic Toretto deliver another meme-worthy experience. They have.
Dude, the memes have been heavy.
I'm like, how are people just catching on to the family memes? Like, dude, how long have you and I been like, it's about family? Like, we've been doing that for years, dude. But dude, ever since the very beginning, I was like, the first time I saw this, I was like, there's too much family shit in his. Like, you haven't even known these people that long. What do you mean it's like, we're family? I was like, give it a rest, bro. Just relax, okay? You big bald black Italian guy, whatever the fuck you are, you Puerto Rican. Like, just chill out, all right? Nothing wrong with Puerto Ricans, but yeah, I was like, just relax, Mr. Toretto. Yeah, and
That's
it just
right.
gets worse and worse
Dominic
every movie.
Toretto.
So, like, I'm surprised. People are like, yeah, they went to space. I was like, and that's what made you guys think about the family memes? This motherfucker been talking about family way too much for way too long.
True. It's very true.
I don't
So, James,
know.
when are we going to go see it?
I honestly, part of me is like, I don't want to see it.
Let's
and
do
the other
it.
part of me is like, you should just see it because it's going to be fucking dumb as shit anyway. Let's just go fucking relax and see it. So, I don't know. It's funny. I'm not a proponent of, like, the sit down and veg out, turn your brain off movie. Like, I don't believe in that. I don't think they should always challenge you, but I think movies should always should should serve truth and what's possible.
I
No.
thought you were about to say truth, justice, and the
I think they
American
should
way.
be. I think they should be. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I don't think you should go to movies and expect minimum quality. You know, I think you shouldn't go to a movie just because, like, oh, shit explodes and everything like that. Like, if you go to a movie and you don't remember the fucking movie when it's over because it was so dumb and forgettable, then it's like, why'd you even go see the movie? Like, stop going to those types of movies, you know? So I didn't want to go to it, but now I kind of want to see it because now I'm kind of thinking, man, maybe there is something to the fact that you could just go to the movie and fucking disconnect and veg out a little bit, you know what I mean? And just like go and see like a bunch of shit explode and everything like that. You just live a carefree, good time, you know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I don't know. It seems like Hollywood just only knows how to make movies like that now. Like they never are challenged to make something quality unless it's some dark brooding thing about a flat-chested girl who's trying to seek the honesty of a father's love without ever meeting her dad, and she's in one room staring out of a window for the full hour and a half runtime of the movie. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, just stop. You know, like I don't care about that type of film. You know, I don't want to see that kind of movie. You know, and it's like so Hollywood makes. Yes,
is it called
might as well
Miller's
be.
Crossing?
Yeah, exactly. I made that plot up, by the way, but it probably is called Miller's Crossing. So, so yeah, but you get what I'm. No,
I just made up that title.
You know what? We
but
should
it
just
sounds
start
right,
telling people,
so.
like, did you see Miller's Crossing? They're like, no, I didn't see that. It's the movie about the girl. She never leaves the room, and she's like trying to figure out, you know. They're like, Miller's Crossing sounds legit. Seems like a movie that it could exist. You know, it's like, yeah, won a Golden Globe. They're like, oh shit, Golden Globe, is that for movies? I'm like, I don't know. Could be. Do you know? I don't actually know either. You know? But yeah, so, I don't know, man. I mean, Hollywood just knows how to make those two kinds of movies to me. It's like, explode fancy, bang, bang, boom, and hopefully you can forget about your worries for a little bit while they make things explode and not do anything really good to make you earn the money, or they make some brooding movie that only 7 people want to see to win an award that nobody cares about. You know? So I don't know, man.
Yep. Well, I'm down, and I still have that fucking. I think they started billing me again for that.
Oh,
it's
okay.
Movie
Is it
Pass,
back
but it's
on
the
now?
legal version. Yeah. Yep. So, gotta make the most of it. Let's go see a movie.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't even know what's out.
Black.
Is that Jason Statham movie
that's on
out,
the web.
or is that a?
That's on the.
Oh, okay. Well, some of these they're doing a dual release, like they did that with the Angelina Jolie one, where she's
That
on fire.
movie's good,
or
by the way. Not that fire one. I mean, it's probably fine, but the movie that is good is the fucking movie that's That's a good movie. I rented that on YouTube.
Jason
it's
Statham?
really good. Yeah. Yeah, I've done that before.
You
but
rented
it's
a
dude,
movie
that
on
movie's
YouTube,
a fun time. You're gonna go in there and you'll be like, oh boy, oh boy. That's the type of movie that I feel like you could just go in because you know exactly what to expect from Jason Statham. He's not gonna be like, it's all about family. Like he's not doing any of that. He's getting there. He's kicking people's teeth in. He's being a maniac. He's being British. You know, he's being bald but handsome. I mean, it just works. The whole thing works. He's delivering very simple. He's not doing anything that's like so far out of the realm of possible. Like he's going to space. He's not doing anything like that. He's on the streets, kicking people's teeth in, fucking people up, being sneaky. That's all he's doing, and it's a good movie. It delivers. I can't think of what it's called now. I don't know. It might as well be Man on Fire with a British guy, basically, but it's really good.
Sounds good. All right. Well, why don't we go ahead and jump into some news?
Sounds good to me.
Is that all right? All right. So, got a couple articles here about Richard Branson. So, Richard Branson, Virgin Galactic. So, he finally took a trip to space, sort of.
What do you think about that?
So they said he went up 50 miles above the Earth to the outer edge. So they're right at the edge of space, basically. They experienced a few minutes of weightlessness before they glided back down. And they landed at their airfield, or whatever you call it, in New Mexico. So, I don't know. I thought they've been doing this. So,
yeah, I guess he's
just
rich.
not him.
No, his company had been doing it. He's been doing these near Earth, these edge of space launches for a long time. This is not new for him. He's been doing them for a while, man. Since before Jeff Bezos had Blue Origin, before had right when what's his name started launching his own, saying, "Oh, we're gonna build a rocket to go to space," SpaceX. Right when SpaceX started, he was doing it. Virgin Galactic was trying to do it. It's been around for a while. I'm surprised it's not a big deal. I guess because he's the first rich guy to do it. I don't really fucking know. It's not. I mean, Jeff Bezos did it before him, though. If you want to count that, Jeff Bezos did it earlier this year or late last year. So I don't know, man.
Okay. Yeah. So I thought that we as humans had been doing this already.
Special.
But I guess, yeah, I don't really understand. Maybe we're missing some critical piece of this, because I'm not really... I mean, it's cool and all, great, cool, but maybe it's more because it's more the commercial aspect. This is the more oh yeah, anyone can do it. Although I don't know if they're taking orders yet, or I don't know if you could buy a ticket. Would you go?
No. Not to do that.
Not.
I mean,
I
think
bullshit.
I would love to experience weightlessness, but I think what would happen is you'd spend $2 million or whatever it cost to go experience weightlessness. That's too.
What if it was $30,000?
Because you go up there, you're experiencing 10 minutes, a half an hour, if even that. Probably not even that much time. You get, it's only a few minutes. You're up there for a few minutes experiencing weightlessness. And then you go down there. I mean, what are you going to be like? Oh, my God, it changed my mind. Oh, it changed my life. And you're crying, I've seen the face of God. No, that's not what's going to happen. You're going to go up there. You're going to be like, oh, God. Because the human body's not made to experience weightlessness like that. You're going to be like, oh, God, I don't have any training for this. You're going to spew into the fucking cabin. It's going to be a disaster. I mean, look, if I was going to space, yes, $30,000, $2 million, it's worth it. But just to do some near-Earth, skip, no, that's not worth it. And it's not interesting or cool. It's not the new Mount Everest. You know what the new Mount Everest is? Going to the moon and standing on the moon. That's the new Mount Everest. Just doing what he did is not interesting, and it's not special, and I don't see what the big deal is. Astronaut's been doing this shit for years.
So they say here, it says right here, Richard Branson became the first person to ride into space aboard a rocket he helped fund.
He became the first person to comb his hair while smoking a cigarette, while eating a ham sandwich with his cock in his hand. Just because you put a bunch of things behind something to make it niche doesn't make it special. Come on, man. The first person to ride in a ship to go to near-Earth orbit that he helped fund. Without any one of those things in a sequence, it wouldn't be interesting. And it wouldn't be the first of anything. Right? Am I wrong here?
Right. No, I'm with you, man. Boarded the Spaceship 2. And it's all one word and everything is spelled out. Spaceship 2. A winged plane with a single rocket motor. The company has spent nearly 2 decades developing. But attached beneath its massive twin fuselage mothership dubbed White Knight 2. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Detached and dropped momentarily before its engine screamed to life. The vehicle swooped upward. It says at the top of the flight, more than 50 miles high, the vehicle was suspended in weightlessness for a few minutes, allowing the passengers to enjoy panoramic views of the Earth and space as Spaceship Two flipped onto its belly. It then deployed its feathering system, which curls the plane's wings upward. Listen to this. Mimicking the shape of a badminton shuttlecock. To turn the spaceship rightward as it flew back into the Earth's thick atmosphere and glided back down to the runway. Blah, 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 blah. Apparently Elon Musk was there. No, he was at the party after. It says here, surrounding Spaceship Two's takeoff was a high production party with friends, family, employees, and a few VIPs in attendance. Earlier on Sunday, Branson tweeted a picture of himself and a barefoot Elon Musk hanging out. And Grammy-nominated artist Khalid is also expected to perform an as-yet unreleased song on an outdoor stage. Okay. How nice. Okay. Whatever. I mean, whatever. I guess we're getting closer.
So the thing is, to me, this is interesting only because maybe they can find a way to make this so efficient that they can get people quickly into a near-Earth station using this. Using some method like this in the future. You know what I mean? Otherwise, I don't see the value. Like, we already know how to go to space. We've been doing it for a long time. You know, people have been into orbit already. You know, I don't think Jeff Bezos did it. I think his plane did it. I don't think he did it. But yeah, I don't think. I think he's scheduled to do it, but I don't think. I don't think this is special, man. I mean, yeah, he's old, and I guess for him, he's like, yeah, I want to get this done because I'm not going to get to see the true shit. You know what I mean? You know, because he's old, but I don't know, man. You know, I don't think it's, you know, I mean, it's cool. I guess it's cool from the extent that they'll probably build some kind of delivery system that will take that something like that, similar to that up, and it will rendezvous with something else, you know. But otherwise, I don't know that it's that big a deal. Sorry to hate. I mean, I know I'm just a grounder, you know. Sorry to hate. Here from the earth. But yeah, not a big deal.
Right. All right. Well, the only other thing I'm sure there's other things to talk about. The building collapse. I'm sure we talked about that already at some point. But actually, what I want to talk about is Bill Cosby. I don't know if we talked about him.
Started his own pudding company, huh?
So
it's called
yeah, exactly.
Roofie.
No.
Roofie puddings.
Yeah, Roofies Are Us or something.
Joke, but
yeah.
I tried. Yeah.
A roofie colada. Yeah. Yeah, so apparently, as I'm just reading here, it says the Pennsylvania Supreme Court found that an agreement with a previous prosecutor prevented Cosby from being charged in the case and overruled the conviction. So supposedly he had an agreement in place that said, hey, you know, like, you're immune, and they prosecuted him anyway. So they said, oh, they shouldn't have done that. And now it also says that this decision prevents him from being tried on the same charges a third time. So it's done unless they come up with other things. When they charged him the first time, it was a few days before the statute of limitations were going to run out. So unless there's any newer cases, you know, if it's all the older stuff, then
I mean, the guy's 730
probably
years old anyway. His career's over. He's gonna die
True.
in fucking shame. Everything he's created is sullied. You know, he's one of the few black famous people of the old age before black people were like truly like before black people in the 80s were before black people in the 80s were
Mm.
widely acceptable to the general audience of non-black people. You know, America's dad for white people, black people, Spanish people, whoever was Bill Cosby, and he's ruined and destroyed all of that. So any goodwill he created, anything he stood for, anything that was great about what he brought to the table is like, you know. So I'm not saying that's a punishment in himself. I mean, he should be punished for what he did, but because of a fuck up, you know, and because of the fact
Mm-hmm.
that, you know, I know it sounds fucking crazy. I'm not trying to blame victims, but because people either A, didn't come forward, or B, I don't know, you know, whatever happened. And look, I don't begrudge anybody sitting on this. Some horrible shit happens to you, you're ashamed, you know, whatever, I get it, you know, I get it. But for whatever reasons, this was allowed to linger for too long, and here we are today. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, it is what it is.
So, as yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, it's just. Have you seen what his wife has been
No, what's she saying?
saying or not saying? Oh, she's
I mean, that
standing
doesn't
by him
surprise me.
100%, man. She's like, no, he's innocent. He's
That doesn't
blah,
surprise me.
whatever. Like, you know, this is all a sham. You know, so people are not happy with her
I mean, I don't know why they're not happy
about
with her.
that.
She's his wife. What do you expect? I met a lot of women who believe a lot of things about a lot of men, even when truth is fate in their face.
What did Harvey Weinstein?
I don't know.
What did
What did
Harvey
she do?
Weinstein's wife do?
Oh well,
Oh, she's divorcing him.
I don't know. Harvey Weinstein probably isn't a probably is not a good person. Not saying Bill Cosby is either, but I'm just saying he's
I mean,
probably. I feel
probably
like
not.
I feel like
I mean, like he's a good person except for the rape.
I feel like Bill
like,
Cosby.
like, what do you mean? Like,
I feel like
he's
on
a saint.
personal
He helps
level,
children. Like, what are you
if were
talking
to
about?
just meet
You know?
him in a I don't need anything from you, you don't need anything from me scenario. He's probably a fine person. He's probably a decent human being. Bill Cosby. You know,
Who's this?
I think in
Oh.
the 80s and 90s, he did a lot of fucking fucked up, sketchy, illegal ass things that he deserves to be punished for. But I don't think he's always been a piece of shit. And I think a lot of men have done a lot of sketchy, irredeemable things that they don't know that is either A, they know is wrong, or B, they don't know is wrong. And either maybe now they're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that in the past. You know, not saying Bill Cosby is that. I'm just saying men do all kinds of shit. I feel like just looking at Harvey Weinstein, he looks like a piece of shit. He doesn't look like he's nice. He doesn't look like anybody likes him. He's just a fucking piece of shit. He looks like a fucking pimple ready to be popped. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I don't think you could judge. I don't think you could say his wife should be doing one thing or another based upon what Harvey Weinstein's wife is doing. She might have other issues with him unrelated to rapes. She's married to him. So she probably knows he's been cheating on her for years. Bill Cosby, maybe he cheated on his wife in the 80s and 90s, but we don't. No one's saying he did that shit in the last 15 years, you know. So, or last 20 years even. So we don't know
Right.
what his relationship with his wife is. Maybe she's come to agree with that, come to believe that he's repentant and whatever, and she loves him and she's gonna stand by him. You know. Who knows, man? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Hmm.
But yeah. What's this? Oh boy.
I forgot about this. I wanted to mention this.
No, what did he
You
do?
heard about Richard Donner?
Who's Richard
He
Donner?
died. He's a famous director. He's directed such movies as Lethal Weapon, The Goonies, Scrooged, the original Superman movie from 1978. The Omen, 1976. He's also been producing the Free Willy and the X-Men franchises. Free Willy is probably not something to be proud of, but you know, there you go. Yeah, okay.
Well, yeah,
maybe the first one is okay.
You don't want to be associated with the other ones. It's like saying, I worked on Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Like, oh, don't tell anybody that. The same. I mean, but the original Free Willy delivered.
Right. Let's see. He also did Radio Flyer.
Radio Flyer is a great movie. Toy,
which I actually love.
Lady
that movie.
Hawk. Wow, great. That's a TV show, right?
Yep.
Or was it a movie?
No,
it's great. Lady Hawk.
Apparently, it's a movie. Here, that's a list of movies. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Of course, good. Secrets of the Crypt Keeper's Haunted House. I never saw that.
Oh, he did Conspiracy Theory. Huh. That's funny. Oh, and he did our favorite movie, 16 Blocks.
Oh my God! Fuck off. Well, I'm glad he's dead. I'm glad he's dead.
You deserve it.
I'm glad he's dead. You know what? If you listen to this podcast, you're like, what are they talking about? What's wrong with 16 Blocks? Go watch the movie. Go watch the fucking movie. Okay? Go watch the fucking movie. Treat yourself to one of the worst, I don't know, impressions you've ever heard, and it lasts an hour and a half. Like, why are you doing that? Anyway.
And right before that movie, he did apparently one of Evan's favorite movies, Timeline.
Well, you know. Yeah, I think so.
Isn't that with Paul Walker? Paul Walker.
Everybody has a shitter.
And Gerard Butler's in it.
Everybody's welcome to a couple shitters. 16 Blocks is one of the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
The Toy. Man, I'm going to have
movie.
to rewatch that. I haven't watched that in forever.
Yep.
Richard Pryor.
That's the golden age of those.
That's Jackie
That's
Gleason?
the golden age of those movies, like
Wow,
Toy, Smokey and the Bandit, fucking 9 to 5, like all those 80s movies that were filmed in that type of way, and they had it had like a mix of like 1950s actors and 1980s actors in it, all together working in the same space, and you had like Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, what's the guy with the curly hair, the white guy who was in Gene Wilder, fucking
Wilder.
The fucking guy whose hair is perpetually gray, Steve Martin, Martin Short.
Steve Martin, yeah.
Dude, these are some fucking hilarious guys. Dan Aykroyd, like these are some hilarious people all working on these films. Terry Garr, man, all these a bunch of great movies that they're all like so good, and you know it just. I don't know. I guess it's rose colored for me because I grew up with that stuff. Channel 20, I used to watch that shit all the time, over and over again. Trading Places, you know. But it's very classic to me, very nostalgic. I just love that period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. Great movies. So yeah. So too bad he had to end it on 16 blocks, but other than that,
yep.
Good job, Mr. Donner.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's move on here to some stranger danger. We actually have a couple things to talk about.
4 years, yeah.
We normally don't have anything. Yeah. So, this is a little old now. I mean, it was like in late June. Western Digital. So they have a series of external hard drives called My Disk. Apparently, they were recommending to people that they unplug their MyBook Live devices from the internet until further notice, because there's some kind of vulnerability where hackers are maliciously wiping people's data.
It's crazy. Why?
So people like wake up and they're like, "What the fuck?" Like, all their
This is
data's gone.
insane. Can you imagine?
I know. I was like, I first saw this and I was like, "Oh my god!" Then I was like, "Oh wait, I don't have any of these things." Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, good, good.
I thank God I only use.
Like God, I only have an overcomplicated
Yeah, I have a
TrueNAS
Western
SAN that I
Digital.
built
I do have a
myself.
Western Digital like USB thing, but it's not plugged in. And I have a.
Oh no, I think as long as it's not like these things are things that
Yeah.
themselves can connect to the internet. You know, like they usually have an Ethernet jack in the back or something. You know, like they're basically little NASs or SANs.
That's so crazy.
Well, they're not SANs, they're NASs. Yeah, but I think the problem is they can like check in with
Yeah.
Western Digital, you know, over the internet, and so yeah, they've fixed it, but whew, you fucking imagine you wake up and
Dude.
your fucking data's gone. You're like, what the hell happened? Like, imagine. I mean, hopefully, you know, we're all being whatever. That's your backup, right? Or you have another backup, but all right. And then let's see, you had one over here, James.
Yeah, so this is
Something about
Amazon
Amazon?
Sidewalk. If you're not familiar, that's just a link to see that article talking about how to disconnect it. Amazon Sidewalk is it's a shared internet between, and we'll call it a network, a shared network between Ring and Alexa devices, Echo Dots, any of their connected devices. And what's going to happen is, in the United States on June 8th, the devices Amazon Sidewalk will be turned on. It is opt out, so it's going to happen regardless of whether you ask for it or not. Yeah, it's
So
already
it's gonna
happened.
happen, as in it's already happened,
Yeah,
because it is
so it's
now
already
July
happened.
11th.
But
So-
basically, you want to go and turn this off. Well, you don't have to, but basically, what's going to happen is the whole idea is if you lose power at your home, your Ring doorbell or your Amazon Alexa devices can get connected to other Amazon Alexa devices or other Ring devices or other devices in the Amazon Sidewalk network in your neighborhood for either for basic internet service. Not for you, but for them. So your Ring, your doorbell continues to work. Your Amazon Alexa continues to do something. And I was debating with a guy in my Discord yesterday whether it was going to mean that the audio, like you could still play music through your Alexa, because that's obviously going to take bandwidth. So will that not work? Is it only for asking Alexa questions about what, map destinations, or like what is it? What kind of information will you be able to get? Will you be able to make emergency calls through it? Like, we don't know. So, but that's what it's for. It's not so you have internet. It's not an emergency service like that. It's just so those devices can continue to connect and continue to function. It also allows for the tile tracking devices. It can be used. The Sidewalk network also is a third-party approver system for the tile tracking devices. Excuse me, for the tile tracking devices. The problem, I think, is that, just like the Western Digital device that you just talked about, Michael, given enough time, someone's going to find a way in, either through Tile or through the SDK or through the API or through some third-party system that Amazon hasn't predicted, or through Amazon itself. So, I don't know. God forbid someone get that back door and just sit on it, and then they have a way, they can just use that to get into anybody's house and connect to anybody's device. I mean, Ring has already had a complicated issues in the past with people getting into their devices, into their cameras, and looking in and talking to people's kids and shit like that. So, I don't know, man. These devices are sketchy. I don't have an Amazon device, thank God, but I never wanted one because I felt like Amazon has the sketchiest. They're like almost like a Facebook when it comes to like these types of devices, which is like I wouldn't want a Facebook hardware device in my house either, because like they're gonna be like, listen to him breathe. Let's find out how many beats per minute his heart is and see if we can suggest something to him. Like they're very sketchy. You know what I mean? I just don't want to deal with that. So Google's probably not any better, but at least they pretend to be like, yeah, we don't give a shit about that. I don't know. Maybe that's worse. I don't really know. But yeah, that's that.
All right. So if you have an Amazon Echo, one of those Alexa type devices, or a Ring doorbell, or whatever, there's a whole list there.
Yeah.
You should go in and opt out if you want to. If you want to. All right. Well, let's move on to entertainment. We have a couple things in here. Resident Evil Infinite Darkness. So, while before the show we were talking about some Resident Evil stuff, and I came across this, which apparently is an animated thing that is now released on Netflix. So, might be interesting to take a look at. Resident Evil Infinite Darkness, now available to binge on Netflix. It's set in 2006. It's a 4-episode series that bridges the gap between Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 5. And it says it illuminates what Leon and Claire get up to during this unexplored chunk of the timeline.
I mean,
so
exciting stuff. The Resident Evil, we were discussing this earlier, Michael. I like watching Resident Evil playthroughs. I can't really absorb myself too much into the lore of Resident Evil because it's just like anything that comes out of Japan, and whenever Japan tries to tell you a story, it's going to be so complicated and so convoluted, your head's going to explode. And you're talking, that's me telling you, someone who watches anime regularly. So I'll probably watch this, but it's probably going to be crazy. It's probably going to be fucking nuts. You're going to be like, wait, what? Like, it's probably gonna raise more questions than it answers. As a matter of fact, looked at out of sync, like I challenge you to go from Resident Evil 1 to Resident Evil whatever it is now and try to assemble a story. It seems like sometimes they're like trying to tell a story of like this zombie shit happening, and other times you see like they retcon shit in to be like, oh, these things are actually attached. When you're like, obviously, when they made this Resident Evil from this one, there was no thought about attachment. It's about different characters who may or may not have existed, and the other ones, it's just like, what's happening? Like, is this about this bad guy? This bad guy's a good guy, and da-da-da-da-da. You're like, there's no overarching story. You could tell they just like, like boop, 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 boop. We want to make this one take place in a village. This one's going to take place in a bio. This one's going to take place in a Vegas. This one's going to take So, yeah.
Yeah, true. Well, if so inclined, check it out.
I like anything. At some point. Dude, this is going to be animated in that style of. I can't remember the other one that we watched. I think we watched it together many years ago. But it was like, yeah.
Final Fantasy.
You watch that shit, you're like, is it real? No. Is it? No. Is it? Like, so this is going to be like that, and I'm looking forward to it.
There actually is a Resident Evil animated like that already. There's a movie. I don't remember what it's called now, but it's when it came out like probably over 10 years ago. And I think it takes place in the airport, mostly. But, yeah. So, yeah, you're right. It'll be in that kind of CGI or whatever it is, but that's fine. All right, so... Tomorrow War. It's funny. Every time I see that, I feel like it is. Isn't that a book really we read? To me. Isn't that J.L. Bourne? Let's see. Tomorrow War. Serpent Road. Tomorrow War by J.L. Bourne. Yep. Yeah. So there you go. That's why I'm like, that sounds familiar.
It's not his book. It's not his book, is it?
But that's not what we're talking about.
This isn't based on his book, is it? I don't think I read that.
I don't know. Tomorrow War #1 by J.L. Bourne. A man struggles to survive after the U.S. infrastructure collapses and martial law engulfs the streets of America.
I don't think I have either.
I don't think I've actually read this one.
Either.
Yeah. This is newer, although it came out 2015. Yeah.
So,
but what is this Tomorrow War
is about? And what's the guy? Yeah, it's on Amazon.
This is on Amazon?
His name here. Yeah.
Kim.com?
I I want to see what the guy, the main actor. His of course is extremely popular, and I don't remember his name to save my life. Yeah, Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah, Chris Pratt.
J.K. Simmons.
Jesus freak. It's not relevant, but yeah, he's a nut. He's apparently insane.
Is he?
Yeah, he is. He loves.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Look, there's nothing wrong with that,
What?
but it just he believes so much on the side that it makes him say sketchy things. So there's nothing wrong with being religious. Let me say that right now. There's nothing wrong with being religious. Just, I think there's religious, and then there's like, hey kids, it's like a little much. And he's right there, which is kind of weird because he's funny, and you kind of expect other things from him. Anyway, so Tomorrow War, Chris Pratt's in it. It's about a guy who he's an ex-special forces guy. He's now he's retired from the military. He's done combat tours in Iraq or Afghanistan or something, and he's retired from the military. He's got a family, a wife, a daughter, and he's trying to be a research scientist at the Army Research Lab, I think. And he already works there, but he's trying to get a better job. And while they're sitting down, and I'm going to say, to me, I'm always thinking, oh, it's Christmas. The way the movie takes place. I don't know when it is, though, honestly. I don't remember when it is. But whenever the movie takes place, everyone's at his house watching a soccer game of all things, which is fucking weird. Like, I don't know what community where the whole town everyone's packed together in their houses watching a soccer game. It's the busiest suburban neighborhood I've ever seen in my entire life. It's so many cars and so many people there in that neighborhood. It's so weird. And everyone's at his house, a bunch of people at his house watching this soccer game. And in the middle of the soccer game, a rift opens, and people from the future come there and say, we need you to help us fight our war. There are aliens and humanity's going to die, yada, 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 so on and so forth. Right? So, here's what I'm going to say about this movie. I'm going to try not to spoil, but I am going to spoil a little bit. Number one, there's causality problems with the time travel aspect of the movie, which someone like me who's all about, like, at least pretend to be scientifically accurate, can at least pretend to care about what you're doing, it bothers me. And from the military perspective, and I've never served in the military, I don't claim to know everything about the military, but just knowing what I know about people learning new skills and having ever worked at a job where you have to learn a thing and then go do some task that is only semi-complex, I can't imagine a world where people from the past would come to the future, people from the future would come to the past and recruit random people to serve in the military with only, say, 7 days notice, which is how it works. Okay? So initially they take the military, and the military gets shit on. Like the survival rate's super low, like 15% or something crazy like that. Like they're getting literally shit on by these aliens. And then so basically they don't try to take civilians straight off. They try to take military from all over the world straight away, and that doesn't, and they're running out of people, so they start just pulling from the populace. And it basically, and upon first watching it, I was like, well, there's a problem here, because you can't take people from the past and then let them die in the future, because everything they were going to do or affect is going to not happen when it's supposed to have happened in the future. So what they're doing is, and the way the author solves that is by when they vet a person to say if they can be taken or not, they say, okay, they look through, they have a link to the future, and they look through this link to look at his records, and they say, okay, yeah, he dies in 7 years. So basically, anybody who's not alive in the future, 30 years in the future, is okay to take. And that's their only rule. Here's the problem. And the problem should be obvious on me saying that. If you take somebody, if I take Michael right now to the future, and he dies in the future, every single thing he would have impacted from the day I took him on in our first existing timeline, he will not affect. Maybe Michael tripped on a fucking rock, and that rock bounced, hit a guy's car window, shattered his window, killing his wife, and because his wife died, he decided to make the first flying car. You don't fucking know what's going to happen. The whole world is balanced by these butterfly effect type rules. So you can't take a single person from the past and let them go die in the future without knowing what ripple effect impact it'll have. This movie ignores that logic completely. It pretends it doesn't exist, which that's what I find very problematic. So people are going to the future in droves, dying. What if they had a kid? Like people, these are people who could still have kids. What if they have a kid in a couple years? I mean, but they don't show us. And I guess we can assume maybe they're looking at that too. But it would have taken a second for them to say, well, here's the vetting. Here's how we vet you. You're not going to have any more kids. You're going to die in the next year. Okay, all those people are available. That's still millions of people. All these people are available to take. They don't have any kids. They're not going to have any kids, and they're not going to die. That's fine. But they don't look any of that. That's just the rule is you're not alive in the future. That's it. That's their only rule. So I don't know, and then there's and this is a big spoiler. So if you don't want spoilers for this, then don't listen to this. Michael, do you care? You don't care, right? I know Michael doesn't give a shit. So
I don't care.
There's a whole running side plot about how Chris Pratt hates his father because his father left him after Vietnam. Basically, the father came back from Vietnam and that's J.K. Simmons, who's amazing in this movie, with PTSD. He comes back with PTSD. He's all fucked up, and he's like, he leaves his wife and kids because he's like, I'm going to beat my kid's ass, I'm going to beat my wife's ass, I'm going to be a horrible husband, and he left. He abandons them, right? So Chris Pratt hates his dad. He doesn't know why he hates him. He doesn't know why his father left. He just hates him. He won't let his daughter be involved with the kid. He just hates him. So then Chris Pratt goes to, when he goes to the future, he's brought to the future by his daughter. And his daughter, and they won't tell him when he leaves how he died. So when he meets his daughter, she's in charge of the military there. And she tells him, this is extremely problematic. She tells him, she's like, you left, you abandoned our family. You and Mom got separated when I was 16. Or when I was 12, and when I was 14, you got divorced, and when I was 16, on my 16th birthday, you died in a car accident. And she kind of implies that it was suicide, right? But they don't say it, but it's implied. And the thing is, you meet Chris Pratt's character in the beginning of the movie, and there's nothing about his life that would imply that he's that guy. He's not some troubled, fucked up guy who has all these issues. He's none of those things. So I'm very confused. And they just leave that, they give that to you, and they leave it hanging, and they never explain how it's possible.
So are they in an alternate future or something?
You've just stated it, okay? So, exactly.
Because how would any of that work?
There's two time travel scenarios here, okay? There's two rules of time travel, and these are the James Broadus rules of time travel, and I think most people who kind of think about how time travel works agree on this. I go back in the future, I go back to the past, and I call Michael and say, Michael, the show's going to be 2, we're not going to do the show at 1, we're going to do the show at 3 today. And Michael says, okay, we're going to do it at 3. I then leave the past, come back to my future, and I'm still sitting here at 1 o'clock doing the show at 1 o'clock because I created a new timeline that splits like this where some other James now doesn't do the show at 1, he does it at 3. Or I come back to the future and I cannot have ever gone back to the past because I changed my past basically nulling out everything, and everything's backward started anyway. Do you understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense to you? Yeah. So that's how I feel about time travel. So if he goes to the future, and I was trying to figure out how this happened, like, okay, well, I'm trying to rationalize this, you know? I'm like, okay, he goes to the future, he doesn't die, he goes home, he comes back with PTSD from the Tomorrow War, and then he's distanced from his family, and then he becomes that guy. Or something happens in the future that makes him become that guy. Because at this point, they tell you this horrible story about the man who he truly is, and you're trying to rationalize that with who they present him to be. The thing is, Chris Pratt is a great actor. He doesn't come off as a piece of shit. You know? He doesn't come off as some troubled, shitty character. So how do they resolve what they've told, what the daughter from the future says he is, with who he becomes? They never resolve it, and you don't see, at the end of the movie, you don't walk away from the movie thinking, it's possible. You don't think it's possible. You know, you don't see a decision point where he changes his mind and says, I'm going to change my ways. It's not going to be that way anymore. No, that never happens. You never get that resolution. It's like they just fed that to you to make some conflict between the daughter for some reason. I don't understand why. It's very weird, you know? So, I mean, that's, you know, and there's all this weird cause and effect going on, like with, like, oh, well, at the end of the movie, or not at the end, but like when he goes back, so everyone's there for 7 days. When he leaves the future, and the last stronghold of humanity is destroyed in the future, and the humans lose the war in the future. Okay? He goes, she gives him the fucking thing, she gives him the fucking shit, the toxin that they've developed in the future to take back to the past with him. He takes that toxin back to the past, gives it to the U.S. government or whoever, and they make it, and the whole idea is they're going to make it and distribute it so the aliens die when they come to the planet. Okay? Here's the thing. If that world in the future died,
then they would have never made the toxin.
Exactly. That means they failed.
To the people in the past.
Okay? So that means that it's two timelines. This timeline in the future and this timeline in the past. And they're going in two different directions. So it's very confusing, honestly. And it's made more confusing by the fact that the people who wrote this don't give a shit about it. The time travel thing is like a screwdriver. It's a tool in the toolbox to tell a weird story. That's all it is. They don't care about the time travel aspect at all. You know? So, the action aspect, the movie's fine. The movie's free. So, should you see it? Absolutely, it's free. It's on Amazon Prime. I mean, if you don't have Amazon Prime, I guess it's not free. But if you have Amazon Prime, just go watch it. Whatever. Is it fun to watch? Yeah. If you're not me, and a person who can't disconnect, like their suspension of the barrier to entry for my suspension of disbelief is extremely high. So for me, I'm always gonna have problems with science movies that fuck it up on basic shit. But if you don't care about any of that stuff, go watch it. It's gonna be a fun movie to watch. Are the action scenes amazing? Yes. Does it look great? Yes. Is the acting good? Yes. Does everyone deliver? Yes. You know, is the high-tech shit high-tech enough? Yes. Is that so high-tech 50 years in the future, so crazy that you're like, oh shit? No, it's reasonable. You know, you're like, they still have helicopters, they have like better drones, but that's really it. You know what I mean? So it all makes sense. It's all logical. You know, it feels like, besides the time travel shit, it feels like this could be a thing that could happen in a movie. It's cool. I mean, it's well done. It looks good. It's fun to watch. The fight scenes are amazing. J.K. Simmons is amazing. He fucking goes absolutely ham at the end of the movie. You know, you think he's gonna be a bit player, and he goes fucking balls deep. They go and fuck these aliens the fuck up, and it's great. You know, 100% worth your time to watch. So yeah, I'm not mad at it. If you want to go see it, go watch it. It's a good movie. It's just not a good science fiction movie. It's not good from the aspect of time travel and shit like that. It doesn't make sense. You know, you could tell, like I said, The writers, the time travel is a tool. It's not. It's not the showcase. No one cares about it in the movie. It's just a thing that happens, basically. It's a delivery method. You know.
Yep. All right. Well, let's do the next one. This is
So this is a fun one. Okay. All right. So what we have here is a internet mystery. Okay, Michael, have you heard of Rainbot? Okay, Rainbot is this woman from the internet. She's been on YouTube for a very long time, and she covers internet mysteries. She covers mysteries in general. Mysteries, weird cultural phenomenon, unexplained stories, that kind of stuff. She does it in a really creepy way. And she covers all kinds of things like that. So I did not see this on her, but I followed up and I found she did a video on it. But there's the reason I found out about this is because a guy who does movie reviews that I enjoy his movie reviews, named Chris Stuckman. If you want to see great movie reviews, he's a great person. He's not toxic. He's not a fanboy. He just gives you good, straightforward movie reviews. Chris Stuckman, on YouTube. But if you watch his movie reviews, he's always wanted to direct movies, and now he's directing a movie for the first time called Shelby Oaks. And the Shelby Oaks movie is about a internet mystery, a long-standing internet mystery called the Paranormal Paranoids. And they, in the early days of YouTube, like back in the old JavaScript days of YouTube, when YouTube looked all funky, they used to go around to like these mystery sites and videotape, just like ghost, the haunted house people, the paranormal investigators. That's what they were, basically. And they used to do that. So at some point, when they went to Shelby Oaks, Ohio to investigate a site, they disappeared. I had never heard of it up until this time, up until he talked about it. But when I Googled it, well, I had never heard about it. So I thought, oh, this is kind of interesting. And I thought, people go inactive on YouTube all the time. They're just inactive or whatever like that. And he was like, well, he was talking about in his video when he's talking about how he's going to be a director and how he's directing this story. He's like, it's still an ongoing case. It's still being investigated. People are actively searching for them now. So I Googled it, and of course, when I Googled it, my spidey senses start to tingle, right? Because I'm an old school old fool. You know what I mean? Like, suspicion is like my number one stock in trade. You know what I mean? I'm the original paranoid. Okay, so I'm like, when I Google it, the first thing that comes up is a bunch of articles about Chris Stuckman directing a movie, and I was like, okay, he got a lot of press on it. The next thing that comes up is a Twitter account by a woman named Jess is Searching, and Jess is Searching is looking for she's looking for information on the on this group of people, these 4 people who disappeared, and she's active on Twitter now. And so she has a long Twitter, like pages and pages of tweets about like, oh, I found this information, I found that information, I found this information, I found that information. Okay, so let me see which one it is. Yeah. Okay. So click on the link. Michael says 2. Click on that link.
Oh. Okay.
And that should take you to like a publish.twitter.com page. You see that? Okay. So the first
I do.
Twitter, and look, all of you guys who are listening to me talk about this, just go to our show notes. They're going to be available, as they always are, every week. Go to the show notes and click on the show notes and challenge yourself to do this, okay? You're going to develop the same information I did and get the same place I got, but I want you to just treat yourself to this. It's extremely interesting. So I'm looking at the pictures. I click on the first picture from this guy. This you don't have to click on it, Michael, but it's like a "Have you seen us?" picture, and it's of the 4 people from These four people, right? Then there's another picture on this wooden shack that you can't really see, but it's on this wooden shack in Shelby Oaks, Ohio. So if you scroll down, there's one that says, in case you need the photos with more quality, here it is. This was my first thing that gave me pause, okay? If you click on the first image, and I think this one you kind of have to click on it, Michael. Click on that first image. It's going to open another Twitter page, but just wait for it to open up. And click on that first image of the girl with blonde hair, okay? You see that? Okay. The picture looks like, obviously, like fuzzy or something, but it almost looks really sharp to me. And you gotta remember, this is a picture taken in the late 90s, early 2000s. Okay? The next picture, pick up the picture of the guy to the right. Yeah.
Aren't they all supposed to be from that poster?
You see the picture of the guy from the right? Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really weird.
You know what's wrong with it? No.
It's inverted?
So, first of all, you see the guy has one long, crazy eyelash. And you see how on his eyebrow, see his hoodie has hair on it? On the left side of his hoodie, there's like strands of blonde hair. Do you see that? Yeah. And you see how everything looks kind of washed out and kind of funky looking? Okay. Just click on the next arrow next to it and just go to the one of the black girl next to it. Yeah, blonde hair again. That's because she's standing next to the blonde girl. That's fine. Look at her hair, though.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Do you see how her hair looks? And look at her glasses.
Yeah.
Look at the rim of her left glasses. Yeah.
Why is one different than the other one?
There's all kind of problems with this picture. Look at the next picture. Same thing. All kinds of problems with the picture. Okay? Weird hair color. Is it gray? Is it brown? Is it blonde? Very washed out. Really strange looking. And at first I thought when I saw this, I said, oh, maybe this is in like some weird enhancement process or something that I don't know about. No, it's not. What this is you have one real face of a real person, the blonde girl, okay? And then you have 3 AI-generated faces, okay? So the guy with the hoodie, that's clearly 100% a face from like fakefaces.com, like one of those sites where an AI just generates faces all day. That's what this is. It has the same kind of artifacts that those pictures of like, is this a cat? Like where the AI tries to make cats. It has that same artifacting, where the weirdness, there's like strange weirdness going on. It has the same shit going on it. The picture of the black girl, same way. The hair, the way her hair looks, if a black woman left the house with her hair looking like that, she'd probably kill herself. Okay, number 1, her hair looks insane. Number 2, her glasses are fucking crazy. Her glasses are so weird, it doesn't even make any sense. No one has glasses like that.
No one has
her
glasses
eyes,
like that.
The way her eyes look are fucking strange. Her lip, it's like she has 2 types of lips put together, or she's doing some weird smirk thing. It's very strange. Okay? The same thing with the last guy. So what they're doing is, this whole thing, I realized, and I did a little more research, and I found out the whole thing is fake. Okay? What they did was, they're trying to create another Blair Witch. Okay? And I was like, when I figured it out, I was like, oh my god, this is crazy. And the thing is, they've backstopped. You know what backstopping is, right? Backstopping is what spies do. If you want to, they insert you into a fucking thing. They give you a backstop story, Oh yeah, my name's Gerald, and I went to college here, and here's my college degree. They give you a backstop so basically, people do their research. They're gonna come to a hard dead end that shows fact of you existed. Same thing here. They've created this backstop. Before the movie's even out, before the movie's even created, they have this girl tweeting, and they have fake facts exist. They have like articles about them searching, about this girl. This girl Jess is searching is probably going to be a main feature of the movie. Then Rainbot created a whole thing, and Rainbot has huge internet chops for like creepy internet stories. So she created an hour-long video on this whole thing about the real mystery behind these people. Then they had a bunch of other YouTubers get involved and shit like that. Dude, it's this big-ass fucking scam. And I just found the whole thing so interesting and so weird, that I just wanted to talk about it. But yeah, treat yourself if you're interested in this type of weird shit and this kind of shit that people are up to. I left a lot of the links here, but if you just do basic research, and also I went so far as to do the Wayback Machine to see if paranormal paranoids existed. It didn't exist on YouTube. In the time period it said it was supposed to exist in the old YouTube. So, really interesting stuff, man. Really, really interesting stuff. What's that?
This reminds me of a little bit. I mean, it's they're doing like a Blair Witch thing, but all this fake stuff. It reminds me of a movie called The Game.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I think I know about that movie. Gerard Butler?
It's with
Oh, I'm thinking of Gamer. Never mind.
The gerbil guy. Not the gerbil guy.
I wouldn't know the gerbil guy if you paid me, so it's fine.
It's a guy from Disclosure. Michael.
Chiklis.
Michael Chiklis. Jesus Christ.
Oh boy.
Not the commish. The game. Sean Penn's in it. 1997. Michael Douglas.
Old. I don't remember that. Sounds familiar, but I don't remember it.
Oh my god. Well, you definitely need to check that out. Yeah, right here. I sent the link to our video chat.
Let's see what we got
The
here.
Game.
What are you eating? Pickles?
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious?
Tiny ones.
I just totally guessed that. We're recording a podcast right now, right? Look at that. Evan's away. The cat will play, man. Look at him. There you go. Drink that juice.
Yeah, I'm going to do you one
Treat
better.
yourself.
Check this out.
You got any vodka for that? Oh, boy. Look at it. Living free, folks. This is what it's about. All right, I'll have to check this movie out. This actually looks familiar to me, but I don't remember it. Players Wanted. Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty crazy movie, actually.
Huh.
But, yeah, this whole thing you found is pretty crazy, the Shelby Oaks thing. So that'll be interesting to look at when that comes out.
Huh, you know what's weird? I just clicked on the trailer for the game, and this is like unrelated, but the picture, the video from the beginning of it is a father and son standing together, and I guess it's supposed to be Michael Douglas's character's father in the past. That's the same video they use in the beginning of it's the same. No. That's
Tomorrow
War. It's a show on HBO that I really like about the family who runs the Fox News type company, and it's they use the same video as in their opening. It's just weird. It's just a weird coincidence. That's all. It's obviously stock footage, and I didn't know that, but it's just kind of random that it's in this trailer for the game. Okay. So, what else do we have here?
Okay, this is just a reminder, really, for you and me.
Ooh.
Tuesday, Relentless comes out, a Joe Ledger and Rogue Team International novel.
Dude, this is
July
a great
13th.
time to be alive. So I just got there's 3 books that I'm really excited about. 2 you're not going to give a shit about, but I'm going to just call them out here. It's called what's it called here? I have 3 credits all of a sudden. Why do I have 3 credits? Let me just see what it's called here. Courts and Cabals 1 and 2. So I pre-ordered Courts and Cabals 2, and it just came out yesterday, and I've been going deep on it. I have 6 hours out of 13 hours left. I've been going deep on it since yesterday. It's a great book. It's a great book.
Okay.
And then obviously the Relentless. So I'm gonna have this one finished, and then I'll be able to jump right into Relentless, and I'm excited. I'm fucking ready. I'm absolutely ready. Also, I'll call this out to you if anyone's interested.
Yeah.
If you like superhero books and you have Audible, they're free right now. I think they're free for everybody. I'm not sure. I believe they're free right now. But they're called, the book series is called Raptors Book 1. It's called Sidekick. And book 1 through 4 is all free. You can go get them. So I listened to book 1, book 2, and I listened to one more, book 3. It's not showing book 3 up here, but I listened to book 3 also. They're all great. All the Raptors books are really, really good. I've been enjoying the fucking stuffing out of them. And they're free books. It's just your usual superhero action adventure. It's honestly probably meant for like a teenager, like a 16 to like 25-year-old or something like that, because it's about a sidekick becoming a hero. But it's really good. It's just fun. It's a fun little read about an alternate world where you have the allegories of Batman, Superman, all this kind of stuff. It's cool. It's a fun read, and it's free on Audible. Yeah. Well, I got the Platinum plan or whatever, so it might be just for me. I don't know, but it says available to Audible, whatever. Raptors Book 1.
What's it called?
Sidekick, Raptors Book 1. By Jamie Castle and C.J. Vallon. Ooh.
Yeah, I have to buy it with one credit.
Can't have it all.
That's right. Dude, I have like it says I have silver monthly. I don't even think that's right, because I think I get every other
plans.
month.
You
I
need
get
to
a
go
credit.
change yours, because I looked and mine was downgraded. Mine had been downgraded. I don't know what happened, but my plan had been downgraded.
Oh. Well, I mean, I had downgraded mine gangster style like a while ago, so I don't know if I don't know what it is now, but one monthly credit every other month.
Yeah.
That's what I have. Yeah. All right. Okay. So something else I just wanted to mention before we move off of Relentless. Yep. So that's a Joe Ledger book, right? So I don't know if you remember one of the books or a couple of the books.
Yeah.
Maybe they go see Nicodemus in prison.
No.
Do you remember the name of the prison? It's the State Correctional Institute in Graterford.
Yeah.
Okay, which is in Pennsylvania. So, because I'm a psycho and I'm going down the rabbit hole on Wikipedia a lot, I was reading about the Bill Cosby stuff.
Yeah.
Like a couple weeks ago. And he was at the State Correctional Institute Phoenix, which is in Skippack Township, Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. That was newly opened 2 years ago. This prison, and it replaced Graterford. Cool. Graterford closed, and this one opened in its place. Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, Graterford's a real place."
Joe,
of course
what's
it
his
is.
name? He's good about putting real places in his books. They're almost always. That's one thing I love about his books. I would normally listen to his books and be sitting there Googling constantly, like this location, that location, to see visually where it was. I feel like he just walks around Baltimore and looks and he says, "Oh, this is a spot right here." You know what I mean? Or like, I feel like he goes to those places. I guarantee you almost all the places he mentions in his books, like a truck stop or shit like that, those are places that are fucking real. You know?
Mm-hmm. Well, he mentions a restaurant that I've been to in Washington, D.C., where Congress people go sometimes. It's Tortilla Coast. Yeah, like Aunt Sally goes down to D.C. in one of the books. Like, she's like, I'm going to see what's going on. and she meets
that,
one of the Congress people at Tortilla Coast.
That's the
like,
episode
Tortilla
when she
Coast.
gets,
I was like, like, I've been there.
The one where she gets the explosion. Oh, okay.
She's walking around with a cane and stuff, and then she like collapses or something, and they to bring her to the hospital.
Yeah, I think I vaguely remember that.
I think that's a deep silence. I think that's the book, because that's the one where it goes. Yeah, exactly. There's like an earthquake in DC, and then people are going crazy. They're like, I can't hear my own thoughts.
That's right.
Like it's like what?
Yeah.
Like
deep silence is crazy, and I'm excited about this because, dude, this guy, he knows how to write a story that you're like, wait, what? like if Michael had just said to you, oh yeah, the deep silence is the one about an earthquake machine and the earth is shaking and whatever, you're like, okay, some whatever pseudoscience or whatever bullshit, and there's like, but then people are like, I can't hear my own thoughts. You're like, oh shit, wait a second, there's an escalation here, what's happening now? And all of his books are like that. It's like deeply, it's almost disturbing. It almost like violates that your inner space as a human being. It makes you be like, oh no, not that. That's every time. You know what I mean, Michael? Like every time you listen to his books, you're like, he touches that part of you that you're like, oh, the sacred space. You know what I mean? Like you feel like if what was happening in the book was to happen in real life, it would be a violation, a personal violation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yep, exactly. All right, last but not least, I just wanted to mention this because I just finished it the other day. This came out a little over a week ago now. Almost 2 weeks. It's called, I think it's pronounced Wraith. I don't know. It's Zombie Fallout Book 16, the final entry in the Zombie Fallout series. So this is by Mark Tufo. And it was good, but it wasn't like, to me, it wasn't like awesome, But of course, I'm disappointed that it's over, I'm like, oh, no more books in the series, but I guess either he got tired of it or maybe the drop is off, Maybe no one's buying
I
these
doubt
books
he's
anymore.
done.
I don't know. I mean, he's still going to be writing books. He has other books going on.
I doubt he's done with the Zombie
Fallout series.
It wouldn't surprise me if he does something.
That's what he said.
Or he's still going to make... And here...
He ended Indian Hill. He ended Like in Fallout.
So is he done with the character?
Uh-huh. And
I was going to say,
probably
like,
not.
The character... Yeah.
The character's basically him. A very fictionalized version of him.
Well, I don't know. It's funny. I see that whenever I see the thing, the cover art of these books, and you see like this one right here, right? It has a guy like he's holding an M4 and he's like this, and he's got his glasses on and his buzz cut or whatever. He's wearing all black, and I'm looking at this. I'm like, dude, that's not what the main character of this book looks like. In my brain, whenever I think of that guy, I'm like, oh, it's Hank Hill. I don't know why, but I always picture him as Hank Hill. I don't know why. He doesn't look like some cool badass. He looks like just a regular guy.
Well, he's supposedly a in-shape guy who used to be a Marine.
I guess, yeah.
So... And now, of course, he's... I don't know. You haven't really kept up with the books. He's enhanced
He's got
now.
Abilities.
So. He does. Although he doesn't... It's funny, in the later books, he doesn't really use them too much. Except he has accelerated healing, which does come in handy. But, yeah, man. I was sad to hear that this was the last episode, so... Or last entry in the Zombie Fallout series. But if you guys haven't checked that out yet, if you like zombie books, I know they were popular for a long time, and maybe they're not as popular now. I don't know, but check it out, or check out any of his other books. Like I'm actually re-listening to the first in Fallout book right now.
Enjoy these. There's a good amount. I think I don't think there's like people like vampires and people like werewolves. I don't think people like zombies. I think people like what zombies represent, which is like survival and apocalypse and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's why these books are really interesting, and I
Right.
did enjoy the Mark Tufo books. He's a great writer, and it's kind of sad to see, even though I did not necessarily want to continue listening to these. Um, it kind of sucks that they would not be around anymore. But I do agree with the fact that books, even if you like a series a lot, they need to come to an end. A book series shouldn't go on forever, ever. You know what I mean? Maybe change, bring new characters in, or change the scenery, or do like a Lycan, like he's did Lycanfall, like he's done Indian Hill. Like maybe it's time to do something different with that same character, which he can do, right? He can do that, because I like the character. The character's fun, but I feel like to me you can only, and obviously all the books are different, right? I'm sure. So, but we'll see. I'm sure he's
Yeah.
gonna keep that character. People love that character, so keep your eyes open. And Mark Tufo's a great writer. Anything he writes is gonna be fucking gold. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Well,
Yeah,
yeah. So
same stuff.
Relentless, James, Tuesday.
No, not yet.
Did you
Not
already
yet.
did you already pre-order it?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. It's funny. I actually pre-ordered that a while ago, and I thought I had pre-ordered the Mark Tufo book, and apparently I hadn't. So I wake up on whenever it came out, and I was like, "Why isn't it in my library?" And I go look, and I'm like, "Oh, I didn't buy it. What the hell?"
I will probably just pre-order that.
God
today,
damn it.
'cause I have the credits sitting around now. So I meant to wait for the credits, and I forgot about them.
Mm-hmm.
So. And now I've been like in and out of the app listening to this other thing, Courts and Cabals too. So exciting stuff.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Let's move on to game theory here. Star
Yep.
Citizen update.
3.14.
So is that 3.14?
Exactly that.
Look at that,
You do,
James. I
you
know.
do.
I know something
That you do.
about Star Citizen.
That you do. So I'm gonna post here, and I'm just gonna give you a quick rundown. I'm gonna post this video here for you guys to take a look at when you get a chance. I definitely challenge anybody to go and watch this video. This is a video by a morphologist. He's an architect who does a video series. Is it gonna open at the right place? I think it is. Yeah, it opens from the beginning. Okay. So he does a video series called Architect Reviews, and basically he goes through the architecture of Star Citizen. And he's obviously a Star Citizen content creator, but one of the things he particularly does is architecture. And he rates it unflappingly like good or bad, and he shows the problems, like this is why this is bad, this is why this is ill-designed, this is why this is good, blah, blah, blah. And he talks a lot of architecture terms. He's like, see here, the program takes you from in and out of the, he's like, his voice is super soothing. He's really interesting if you're interested in that kind of shit, especially in video game design and form and function design. And it makes you think about things you see in your real life about like, oh, well, this doesn't make sense because people have to go this way, and why would they need to duck down before they go? You know what I mean? It's that type of shit. So he does a review of 3.14, which includes the final landing zone in the main star system that the Star Citizen takes place in right now, called Stanton, and the final planet is called Crusader, named after the company who owns it, Crusader Industries. It's a gas giant, and it's the most technically complex planet because it doesn't have an actual surface. It is a gas giant where all of the infrastructure hovers 60,000 feet, meters, I don't know, feet above the surface, or probably the core of the planet. So the whole thing is gas and clouds and atmosphere, and that's all the planet is. There's no land. Everything is moving, and there's all this crazy shit going on in there, and it's beautiful. I mean, it looks beautiful. So he does a review of it, and he just talks about how it's amazing, and it's probably one of the most pivotal places in gaming today. You know, like and he talks about how when you're there, when you go to Orison for the first time in the game, you're going to get that same experience you got the first time you saw something amazing in a video game as a kid. And you were like, wow. He's like, you're going to get that experience. He's like, and he's talking about, he's like, as an adult, he recaptured that wow moment that he got like in like Runecraft or some fucking game from like the early 2000s, like his first video game, you know? And honestly, Star Citizen always does that for me, right? It's a beautiful game. It's designed to be beautiful, so you go into it and you're like, oh. It's made to be stared at. And so I'm excited. It's in PTU right now. You cannot. It's in first stage PTU. We got a couple weeks before you can get it in out to the public to be regular.
So what does PTU mean again?
So basically,
and can anyone
they
get
have
in there?
stages.
Or you
so
have to be
stage
invited,
1 is concierge, people who paid a lot of money for the game, people who donated a lot of money to the game, and then stage.
Oh, okay.
And it's like people who test the game, like they do a lot of testing and submit a lot of bug reports. They're invited, and then the stage 2 is a few more people. Stage 3 is a few more people, and then stage 4 will be like everybody. And then after stage 4, they'll say, okay, this is ready for release to the general public, and it will go to the PU, the Persistent Universe. And then everyone will have access to it, and that will be the live build of the game. Right now, the live build of the game is 3.13.
So right now, if you had access to it, if it's not released to the general public, do you like connect to a different set of servers?
Yeah, you connect to a...
Oh, okay. So it reminds me of Second Life, and they used to have the test grid.
At the launcher, you select whether you want the PTU or the PU, and then you either download the update content or you already have it, and you go to those servers. So same exact thing. So yeah, just treat yourself. Go watch the video I have here. It's 7 minutes long. It's a great video. Watch it in 4K because they know how to film. He knows how to film. It's really good. Yeah, it's really good.
Oh boy!
Treat yourself. It's Morphologist is the one person who produces content that works on my widescreen monitor, so I love watching it. It's really nice to watch. Yeah, that's all I got for that.
Nice.
Oh well, I will say this.
So
there's a lot more in 4.14. Orison is the biggest and most beautiful thing, but there's the planet. Yeah, but
that's that
planet. They add missile operator mode, which is the beginning of people in your ship's ability to help you do things as far as flying your ship. Yeah, your crew. So
you can have your crew.
No,
you can't do that right now.
So missile operator mode will allow your crew to actually fire and control missiles. And they also did a lot of things to the UI to make it better. They did a lot of adjustments to the way the game looks. There's a lot of adjustments to like the way AI behaves. There's a lot of things that have changed. And these next 3 patches, so 14, 15, and 16, are the beginning of the end of the alpha period of Star Citizen. After this, they'll be in a place where they're gonna have, if things go as planned, which they never do, but if they go as planned, by the end of this year, we'll probably be in a place where every occupation will be in the game, all the mechanics will be working, and everything will be basically done. The only thing left to do will be to build future star systems and clank them onto this one. Clank, 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 clank. So we'll see what happens. And
when did this start?
Yeah. It's not, and even after this year, it won't be done.
So No, I know, yeah. So it'll then be in beta, maybe.
For another 10 years.
Right, exactly.
Oh, man.
Well, hopefully not. Hopefully they shorten it to 5 years.
My hope is that they
finish,
that they get to this.
It's going to be running on your Samsung Note 9
phone,
by then, or whatever.
Or in your brain.
Your Note 20.
I got Star Citizen in here. My hope is they purchased part of a Canadian company who's been working on the other solar system or other star systems. So the thought process is that these guys are creating the other systems using all the.
Were they creating it
before
they
got bought? They were like they did all the web integration for Star Citizen. So they've been working with Star Citizen since the very beginning. Yeah, they're contracted, but now they bought like a portion of them. They have like some kind of mutual agreement. Like their CEO owns a piece of Star Citizen. Star Citizen owns a piece of them. So they basically are building the star systems, and the theory, what we think is going to happen is they're building the star systems, and what's going to happen is they're going to bolt on the complete star systems, and then the Star Citizen team will be able to go in and wire up all the missions and shit for those star systems. And this is all being done using the tech that they developed within the Stanton system, which is where they're working right now. So the Stanton system is like their test bed and their tech demo. It's like they basically within this system they design the ability for players to receive missions, mission givers to give player missions, enemies to spawn, pirates to do their work, police to do their work, the star systems to operate, the stars to move and rotate, like everything, weather patterns, gas clouds, asteroid mining, salvaging, piracy, everything has been designed within this system. And so the thing is, they're going to take that empty system that these guys in Canada are building, and then bolt in all the parts from the new one, and then make minor tweaks to say change it for this, that, and the other thing. So we'll see what happens. We shall see.
Nice. Star Citizen, does it support any VR headset kind of thing?
No, it doesn't. Rumor has it VR's part of the in-game, but they basically said that they experimented with VR early on, and they said we want to do VR, but it's not part of what we want to do right now. So sucks, but yeah.
No, they're gonna need to put that in there. Absolutely. All right. Well, what do we have next here? 7 days.
So this is my new addiction right now. We've been playing 7 Days to Die. It's a server-based game. Yeah, since 2013.
Hasn't that been out for a while now?
Basically, it's a game where you're a survivor. You wake up in the world in just nothing but your boxer shorts. You have to go find stuff, farm, build a little base, and every night at 2200 hours, you get attacked by zombies. Actually, you get attacked by zombies all throughout the day and night, but at night they're faster and more aggressive. And then every 7 days, a horde attacks you. So you have a blood moon, and during the blood moon, they just attack you nonstop. And honestly, I'll be honest with you, the blood moon's crazy to watch. You know, it's crazy to watch. Every time I get to do a blood moon, Michael, I want to call you and be like, hey, you got to come watch this. Because it's fucking nuts. Like, dude, the zombies are like, Rah! Like they're just running in, and you know, we're like, we look down at them from our base and we're shooting at them and shit. It's fucking crazy, dude. It's nuts. It's like the closest thing to a zombie experience you could possibly get. It's really cool. It's really well done. Yeah, it's a fun game. 7 Days to Die. I think it's $20. So,
well, if I'm able to watch somehow, then let me know. Maybe I'll watch.
I will. Next time we get one, we stream. Let me do it in Discord, so I'll contact you next time we're streaming, so you can jump in and take a look at the blood moon.
Cool.
Oh boy.
Anything else you wanted to mention about 7 Days to Die? Or that's okay. So I actually have a couple things in here just because I saw them recently and they looked interesting to me. Dead by Daylight has now a Resident Evil. They call it a new chapter. It includes a new killer, Nemesis, which, if you've ever watched the Resident Evil movies, that's from the second Resident Evil movie. It's the big guy that walks around with a crazy like machine gun, Gatling gun thing. And then it says that also adds 2 survivors, Leon S. Kennedy. Well, I'll be honest, I don't remember who that is. And Jill Valentine.
Yeah, Leon Kennedy. For what? I guess he's not. I guess they couldn't find a hot enough dude to play him, but he's not in the movies. But he's He's the guy you play with in the beginning of the game. Yeah, the Raccoon Police Department police officer guy who walks around the house and shit like that. He's the main character of the first one too. The movies, I would say the movies don't do any of this shit justice. The fucking the games are where it's at.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Resident Evil started as a game, right?
Movies are good. Yeah. They're just on their own, doing their own thing.
And now it became Right. So that's interesting. And then I didn't put a link in here or anything, but we were talking about it before the show. James actually sent me a pretty cool video of Resident Evil Village. So this is the newest Resident Evil video game to come out. Came out maybe a month or two ago. And it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. I only knew about it because I saw these memes online. What's the woman's name?
Lady Dimescu.
Lady something?
Romanian name. Dimescu, something like that. It's spelled with like too many fucking consonants in it. And valves in weird places. Valves in weird places. But yeah,
valves. I like that.
I mean, I watched a playthrough of it. It looks like a fun ass game. I don't like horror games, and I don't like playing Resident Evil games. I enjoy watching people play them because the stories are great. There's great storytelling in those games. You know.
Well, all right. So I actually might have to purchase that and never play it. We'll see. And maybe the Dead by Daylight too. Dead by Daylight. I get that Resident Evil pack or whatever you need, or maybe they just release it.
I don't think you have to buy anything. I think if once you have the game from Dead by Daylight, those other characters either there's an in-game store or you can buy them with points from playing, or maybe it's points, or maybe it's like an in-game store. I'm not sure. I'll have to ask my buddy who plays, but he has all the characters. He has all the fucking bad guys. I can only assume it's like Apex Legends, where you have either in-game points or you have to buy it with cash. They have a cash shop where you can buy the players. I'm not sure. It's interesting.
Right. All right. Cool. Well, doesn't look like we have anything in product review or Yum update. Anything you want to mention in either of those, James?
I'm trying to think.
Eat anything good this week?
I recently discovered a love for these. I'm a Crystal Light boy all the way. I drink a lot of Crystal Light, and I got a samplers pack here. You can't see it because of the light, but it's like Crystal Light's like a variety pack. And in the variety pack's got lemonade, cherry pomegranate, raspberry lemonade, and then wild strawberry with caffeine, which I could just like go fuck off. And then I got this one, which is citrus. It's like just generic citrus. You can't see it because of the light again, but still good. But this is the one I discovered in that pack that I love, and I immediately bought eight or nine boxes of it, which contain 8 or 9 boxes that contain 4 of these each. And this is cherry pomegranate. It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. I've been drinking this like it's going out of style.
Cherry pomegranate, huh?
No pickle flavored.
No pickle flavored.
No pickle flavored. So yeah, that's probably my Yum update for now. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, let's skip on down to the extra section. So, I put something in here. I discovered these videos kind of by accident this past week. Found a few chiropractor videos. So I found Dr. Bo Hightower. I didn't put a link in here, but this one guy, and he's like busy like with like almost, it looks like chisels and shit with people. But then also this guy Joe Cipriano, he's down in South Carolina, and he does basically the same thing with almost every patient, like the same like sequence of like, all right, we're gonna crack this, then we're gonna crack that, then we're gonna do this, do that, and dude, all his videos are like extremely loud cracks, euphoric first time cracking, this and that. And dude, like half of these videos are just with like hot chicks. And he's like cracking, like, And it's like, and one's like, college girl gets cracked, you know, or like whatever. It's like, okay, like it's like all kind of shit. But I mean, it's legit. Honestly, I mean, I think it's legit. It looks legit. Like he's cracking the shit out of these people. And I mean, does it provide any long term
I'll
kind of
bet
thing?
you.
I don't know, maybe. But,
I kind of my logic is, I'm glad you said that. My logic behind this is because I've been seeing the cracking shit now lately too. I think it's more along the lines of like, once you get this, you're gonna be like, that's great. I need this once a week. You know, you know what I mean? It becomes like a drug of getting your shit cracked.
Right.
You know what I mean? This guy's found the magic formula. He's got a hot chick, and he's cracked, and he's got them fucking bent over tables like doing all this shit to them. You know, he's got.
Yep. I mean, he's there's videos with dudes too. I mean, he's
they don't care.
cracking everybody, you know. But yeah, it's there's even a video I watched from like about a year ago where he cracks his wife. Yeah, and she's hot. Oh, like, okay. And it's like, she's like, yeah, I just had a baby a month ago. I was like, you had a baby a month ago? Like, dude, the comments on that one are fucking great. Dude, the comments on all of these are great. Everyone's like, I see the algorithm brought us together again, gentlemen.
I love those
like,
comments.
Like,
that comment,
like,
that's what I see a lot, dude. Like, there's some woman I follow, and I don't know why I started following her. I have no idea. Her name's Azami22, AMI 22, and I think I started following her years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and
I sent you the one with the wife. Just look at these comments, man. Like this comment right here. He breaks her back in the bedroom, then fixes it in the office. Another one's, this video should be called "How to Land a Hot Wife While Still Wearing Cargo Shorts."
April 2020.
And then, like, here's another one. Yeah, I see the algorithm brought us together again, lads. And someone else. This could have taken a very different turn on a very different website. And someone else is here. Do you ever just know the comments before seeing the comments?
Yeah, dude. Oh, and you have the fucking annotators. It's like 7-8, 7-18 twist, 9-14 to 9-32.
Oh yeah.
Lumbar spine. Like it's just, oh my god, man. Full service shy giggles. Wait a minute. Tell us how we can find such a wife. Yeah, dude. The comments are always great in these things. Jesus, he's a silly looking motherfucker though, ain't he? His beard and his hair are just cartoonish. He looks like a Italian version of a short, stocky Italian version of Conan O'Brien, with his hair and his lush beard. He has a lush ass beard. I need a beard like that.
Dude, the other guy that's doing all these shits is this? I'll put the link in the show notes too. But there, I just sent it to you. Mm-hmm. Dr. Bo Hightower. So he's another one that does this kind of shit. Honestly, he looks just like this other guy, but a little better, like a little more put together, a little more whatever. But honestly, he like looks the same. Like you're like, all these guys look the same. Like it's weird. And he's doing like, honestly, his stuff looks really legit. He actually makes these people hurt. But it's like, you know, to like fix stuff, you know.
The guy I've seen is on TikTok, and he's like this Indian guy, and he doesn't look like this guy. These two guys, but he's just, it's the same. He's like, you know, fucking got these people leaned over the side. It's like, it's like, oh my god, yeah. And you could just tell, you're like, I bet that feels great. Like, I bet that feels great.
Right.
I feel like I'd get addicted though. I'd be fucking hooked.
Right.
I'd have to go once a week.
This guy even did. I saw a video he did. He worked on Amanda Cerny, who I follow on Instagram. You know, she has over 20 million followers on Instagram. And I was like, oh, it looks like he's at her house. You know, because she had some kind of thing with her back that was like some kind of mystery problem, and he's trying to help her out with that. I don't know. But yeah, but this guy, like, you see what I'm saying, right? He like almost looks the same. It's just as the other guy. That's weird.
What is he doing with this chisel?
That's what I'm saying, man. It's not really a chisel, technically. He's not like
He's trying. He must be
doing
pushing
whatever,
the bones
but
back in place or something, huh? Wow,
I
Bo
guess. I don't
Hightower
know.
looks just
Yeah.
like the other guy. It's crazy.
That's what I'm
Why does he look
saying.
just like the other guy. They're like the same fucking guy. That is so weird, man.
Yeah, I know
We'll have to
exactly.
add
That's what I was like.
this.
These
It's
guys look
fucking
the
funny.
fucking same. Like, okay. Yeah, I put it in the show notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that funny? Yeah, no, I saw him work on some guy, like, he must have got his hair cut, or I don't know what happened. Like,
Yeah.
he was at some guy's, like, barber shop, and then he was, like, working on the barber, like, he's, like, had the barber sit down in the barber chair, and he's, like,
Jeez.
working him over,
What barter system?
It's pretty cool.
You give me the same
Oh,
haircut I've been
maybe,
giving for
yeah.
34 years, and I'll give you a little heave-ho. Jeez.
Yeah. And it's weird, man. Some of these people he's working on, like, I mean, they're like, here's a video of strongest men in history. Robert Oberst gets his back hammered by chiropractor.
Yeah,
He's
I
working
got
on
one
some
open.
UFC
It's like
guy
Jade
and-
Cargill.
So
Who I don't know who that is. I think she's a wrestler in the AWE, which is a network I haven't followed I haven't followed wrestling in God only knows how long, but yeah. Interesting.
yeah. So if you want to watch videos of people getting their shit cracked, then
Yeah.
and there we go. James just cracked his.
I'm
neck
telling you, I need to
somehow,
go.
so-
I need to go. But I'll be addicted.
No, I want to go too, man. I was like, do I need to find one of these places? And of course, I'm stupid, right? I'm like, oh, do I have to like have a reason to go? Like, yeah, can you try to adjust my blah? Like, do I have to do that? Like, do I have to have some problem, or can I just show up at one of these places and be like, I need my whole shit cracked, and they'll be like, yeah, I got you. Like,
Honestly, I think you just go.
I mean, they'll just
Yeah.
crack you up, right? I guess.
I think you just
Why wouldn't
go. I think that's it. You just go and
So-
then just be like, I think they could
Yeah.
probably look and they'll be like, oh yeah, this is like too close here. That's they know what your shit's supposed to look like.
Right.
That's probably why he's using that fucking chisel to push to
Right.
knock things back in place and shit like that.
Right. Well, the other guy, he's definitely like has people standing there, or like he's like, oh yeah, your
Yeah.
whole shit's out of alignment or whatever, like you can see, and so, I mean, he's definitely helping.
Yeah,
Helping
they
them
know-
somehow,
they know
you
it's-
know,
I mean,
I think
this
so.
is real. I'm not gonna. I mean, maybe some people think it's not real. I think it's real. I think it's just people didn't know. They didn't know what was possible. You know what I mean? But every time I see it and I see people's faces, like you could tell people are fucking faking it. Like I know what a good neck crack feels like. It's like you almost jizz your pants. I can imagine what this like. You get to like get an involuntary boner from this. It's so good, And it's funny, you're walking around all day, and you don't even realize, but like 30 years of gravity, and being overweight or injury or jumping up and down as a kid or like whatever, that shit fucking puts impact in your body. So it might be good for people to get regular resets. Once a month, once every 6 months, go in there, get your shit fucking cracked back into shape if you can. I would.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
might have to look into that, man. All right. Well, that's all I
No, man,
really
I'm
had to
good.
cover. You got
Good, that's
anything
it.
else?
For me.
Cool. Well, thank you everyone once again for joining us on this special episode of the IO panel. We're missing one of the three musketeers, but hopefully we'll all be reunited
Oh God.
in the after. No, in he's like,
The
oh
next
shit,
world, like oh God.
No, for our next episode. Yes,
Yeah, in the before
in the after
before.
time. Like what? No. So thank you once again, everyone, for joining us. And you can check us out at iopanelpodcast.com. Send us any thoughts, feelings you have, feedback at iopanelpodcast.com. If you go to our website, over on the right-hand side, links to all our social media, Instagram, Facebook, etc., etc. Check it out. You can also donate to us on Patreon. We have Patreon set up there. It's in different tiers going on. And we're going to be offering some special behind-the-scenes looks at the IO Panel Podcast very soon. So be sure to check that out. Thank you once again, and we'll catch you next time.